Okay, so for your spine, I'm starting off with a piece of paper that it measures 7 inches by about 9 inches. So this isn't an exact science, but this is how I make my hinges. So I start off with, I score at 1 inch, and then I do a half an inch, quarter inch, half an inch, quarter inch, half an inch, quarter inch, all the way until I end up with a half an inch, and each of the half an inches create one hinge. So you want 5 of them. So you're going to go ahead and do the half an inch, quarter inch, until you have 5 hinges. So the way it works is I grab the 2 half an inch pieces and I fold on both sides of it. I grab the half inch, I fold it, and then I kind of fold both sides. So those quarter inch, those quarter inch pieces end up being my gussets. Okay? So you just grab the little half inch pieces, and Kathy Orta has a tutorial on how to do it. I had a hard time understanding what she was doing. This is one of those things you kind of have to play with in terms of doing it. Because believe me, when I made my first couple, I kept screwing up. So it does take a little bit of practice. So then what you do is once you've got your gusset, you turn it over to the back side. And then for each half an inch, you put a piece of score tape on one of the half an inches, and then you're going to attach that together. All right, to get your gusset. So you're going to do that for all your pieces. I'm going to try this quickly. And that's how we start. All right, so we're only doing 5 pages, so we only need 5 gussets. And you go ahead and you take your score tape off, and you fold, and you create your gusset. Okay? That's 2 right there. Okay. And there we go. Okay. So now you've got your flaps to attach. If you want, I usually just cut off the flaps, or I just attach them to the back because I don't really care for the flaps. It's not really, I like them, I don't like them, so I don't actually use the flaps. I just usually cut them off or trim them or attach the flap to the back, but I don't use the flaps because I think it's hard to use and I think it doesn't make your book turn very well, and so I don't. So I don't know if Kathy has changed that at all because I haven't watched one of her videos in a little while. I mean, I've watched the construction of her pages and stuff, but I tend to not watch the spines anymore since I kind of just do the same spine because I like it. And I can whip them together pretty quickly. So I'm just folding mine back. So you can do whatever you want with the flaps. Kathy Orta, in her videos, she attaches hers to her book. And so that's how she attaches it. I just don't like it. So I watched, I think it's Aussie Grandma, or Aussie, I think it's Aussie Grandma. She did a tutorial on a modified hinge, and I like what she did. Hers was really cool. Alright, so here it is. Here is my hinge ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put score tape on all sides of the sucker. So excuse me if this takes a few minutes. I'm going to go as fast as I can. I don't know how to edit it where it moves fast. I don't know. I don't do too much editing. I'm going to be editing this one because I screwed up in one of my videos. I did not do the right size hinge. I don't know what I was doing. It's just hot in here because I don't have any air. So, and it's my last day of vacation, so I really wanted to do this tutorial while I had a little bit of time. And I totally screwed up the size. So I'm redoing the hinge, and so I'm going to go ahead and edit that part out where I screwed up. So it might be weird. Might be going, what happened? That's weird. And then put this video in instead. So I'm admitting my mistakes. Okay, last one. Alright, so the last thing that I do is I taper the corners so that's easier to fit in. So I just snip the corner, just like cutting off a little triangle of paper, and just trim it. And alright, so that's what it looks like. It's when it's all done, it's all tapered and trimmed. Okay, so I start from the back. So I'm going to take score tape off of one of them. So here is my, and I've covered my pages, so I'll show you that before this video ends, that I've gone ahead and covered my pages. I recommend covering your pages before you put the paper, before you put your pages on the spine, because it's just, I think it's easier, you get a nicer book. It's just harder to really do it there. Okay, so that's on there. Okay, so now we're ready for the next one. So the gusset that we created, that 1/4 inch gusset, gives you space to move your book. So you'll see once everything is put in there how well it works. So, and the way that I do it is I pull it, I'm pulling mine down so that the top is completely even and not crooked. Alright, there's that one. Now I'm gonna make sure it's on there. Okay. The only problem with covering your pages first is that it's a little bit bulkier, so keep that in mind. It will be a little bit bulkier. But yeah, decorating this one was a little more time consuming because these are a lot of special journal spots and Cricut cuts and special mats. So I will be cutting all of those ahead of time, and then I'll be putting them together with you guys. And I'm going to do a better job at keeping track of the cartridges I use and the sizes that I used. But you know, if you have a silhouette, obviously you could use that. Or if you have a die cut, you know, dies. Yikes. You could use that. And there we go. That's a little crooked. Yikes. They're all straight, but then that one came out a little crooked. Okay, that's not too bad. And then here's my last one. It's going to go this way. So this was actually like a die cuts with a view. It was about books and reading or something like that, but still very school oriented in my opinion. Okay. Alright, so here is that. This page is a little wonky. Oh well, so try to make it straight. Okay, so then what you do is you're going to put score tape on the spine. So go ahead and I put that on the spine. And I cover the spine fairly well because this is what's going to be sticking your book for all eternity. So you want to make sure that you have a really good stick. Okay, so now I get my book Make sure it's facing the right way. Then they're done that. Okay. And take your score tape off. And you just carefully, and you should have some space, because I always build, you know, some space in there. Okay, really close it and really work that in there. Push it down and get it in there. Okay, so let me show you what I've got so far. Okay, so this is what I've got so far. So here is the cover of my book, and then I've gone ahead and covered my pages. Gives me a chance to smooth everything down. And I've got pockets. Here's this one. I haven't done the Velcro for it yet, but there's that one. And here we go. All right. So I will be back with a third video. I think it's going to be a third video. Lost track now that I have to edit my mistakes out. And I will be decorating it with you guys. Thank you very much. This is Cindy with Creative.